Welcome back to my channel here, Tyranny Therapy, and I'd like to expand a bit more on the first step, that we're powerless over our past, our history, and we bring it into our present that causes our lives to become unmanageable. The problem with trauma memory is we can never convey exactly what it was like to be there in that moment. You take an artist who paints a landscape painting. He can put all the colours into it. It can look wonderful. The mountains, the trees, the grass, the flowers, the rivers. He can portray the wind blowing, a storm coming with clouds, dark skies. But he can't convey what it was like to be there, painting that picture. That's the same when it comes to a trauma memory. Someone who suffered a trauma memory, speaking with a therapist, they can give a message, a picture of what it was like. But they can't share what it was like in that moment, spiritually, where they lost all sense of hope, all sense of will to live, all sense of understanding of life or why they're there in the first place. All that inner soul information they can't portray in this storytelling. You can have a group of veterans sharing about an event. First person shares his recollection of the event for him. The next person thinks he hasn't really got it right, he's missing something, and he tries to share his, and so on. But you can't share a past energy of what that moment was. It's impossible to share. Now, traditional therapists understand that they cannot treat a past event. They can only treat what's tangible, what's in front of them. And so whatever you present with, that's what they treat. So they tend to answer that one question. They can ask it as, what did that feel like? How did that make you feel? Or how does that make you feel? When we answer this question, we're down the rabbit hole with no way back. Our feelings are not the problem. There's cause and effect. The cause of the event, the effect is how we feel about it, how we react to it. The problem isn't the effect, the problem is the cause. The way our mental health industry is set up, we seem to target the feelings, the effect. You're in a war and you come back and you suffer stress from it. You have post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress isn't a disorder. It's a feeling that kept you safe from the cause, the memory of the war. Domestic violence, whatever. When you experience a past event, we respond with anxiety, depression. We can feel anxious, feel depressed, feel stressed. We can feel angry, feel like a victim or a martyr. These are our responses, they're not the problem. But we seem to target how people respond. What makes us different from the animal kingdom is that we have all these responses. You take a lion in a pride of lions. It has concern for its pride, but it's not worried about the well-being of the buffaloes or the elephants or the hyenas. It's just its area. But we as human beings the spirit of who we are cares about everybody, about people with different skin, people starving in Africa, people poor and the homeless. We care about everything. And these comes from our feelings. We feel these things and we feel them in the very centre of our being, in our soul, and we respond accordingly. It makes us different. But if we're told that our feelings are wrong, that our feelings are disorders, then it stops us from feeling this way, and we dehumanize ourselves. We dehumanize the clients we work with. What happens is when we suffer a trauma memory, a trauma event, and we try to talk about it, we can never capture the essence of what it was. We can never convey the essence of that moment to anybody. It's a spiritual entity that we experience in that moment, and it's very hard to convey that to someone who cares. And we can have therapists who are very empathetic, very caring. I had therapists who looked after me. They were wonderfully caring, empathetic, and I really wanted in my heart to give them the impression that they were succeeding. So I would make the right noises, give the right answers, but in honesty, nothing ever really changed because I couldn't get across what the event was for me. I could describe it in detail, what happened, where I was, who was involved, paint the picture, but they couldn't get the essence of what it was to be that child in that situation. We have to heal this spiritually. When we suffer an event in the past, it's like there's a hole in our soul. We fill it with drugs, alcohol, behaviours, sugar, food, anything. We're trying to fill this hole in our soul. Therapy, medication, everything to fill the hole in our soul. It's a spiritual malady. We have to start treating this as a spiritual malady and healing it spiritually. Our feelings are not the problem. How we respond to danger is not the problem. These behaviours can become destructive, they can be dysfunctional, but they're not the problem. They are the result of the danger. Now when we heal the danger, these responses, they can go back into our war chest for future situations. So we have stress, post-traumatic stress right now. We heal the past event. The post-traumatic stress goes back into our war chest. The next time we're in a situation which could cause the same response, we have that post-traumatic stress to defend ourselves with. But if we're told post-traumatic stress is a disorder and we can never use it again, we rob ourselves of a human feeling, basic survival instinct that we're meant to have. I want to thank you all very much for joining me today, and I will see you again next week. Thank you.